Hello and welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz Review. Okay, so what are we reviewing in this particular review?
It's a man's review.
A man's
or a lady's review, because everybody can use what I've purchased. There we go. Anyway.
Okay, what is it?
This time Buzz has been busy going down to the hardware store.
Which shop?
B&Q.
B&Q. Buzz has been busy buying stuff from B&Q. Right, okay.
And I've virtually bought a buzzsaw. But it's not a buzzsaw, it's a chainsaw. So let's get
chainsaw. Okay, cool. Cool.
Here we are. Da, 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 da.
Wow, okay.
Okay. It's the Ryobi 18V
chainsaw.
12-inch
Electric chainsaw.
Electric chainsaw. Brushless. Okay, brushless chainsaw. Let's turn the packet round because there's more pictures on that side.
Now, I must say, I'm not particularly au fait when it comes to chainsaws.
Okay.
What's your experience with them?
Right, now, firstly, okay, I have got other Ryobi products, okay, which I've been mightily pleased with their ONE Plus system because they just use one battery fits all their products.
That's cool.
They do come in different voltages, like this is the 18 volt, yeah, and you can get bigger size batteries for depending on what products you've got.
So what? Give us an example of what other products.
Well, I've Ryobi drills basically.
Okay, so the battery from the drill works with this,
would work
and
with
vice versa.
But vice versa. But the battery for the drill is same voltage, but it's a smaller battery, so the charge
So it
will
won't
last as
last.
long.
Right. Okay.
Hasn't got as much. But anyway, this is also brushless, and the thing with the brushless motor compared to a normal electric motor with brushes is you'll get more transfer of wattage and torque on that. The power going through it.
I'm going to nod and agree to that.
And because there's no brushes, that means there's less to wear, so you get a more efficient and a longer lasting electric motor.
And that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good
However, the reason I bought this is not because I haven't got chainsaws. I have had lots of chainsaws over my life, and
Don't we all know it?
yes, and I had a McCulloch years ago,
Yep.
which unfortunately got stolen. Then I switched it to a different one, which you purchased me.
Yeah, for Christmas one year.
Then I, about a year ago, bought another one called a Lesky, because I use chainsaws, but I'm not using them as much as somebody who's like a tree surgeon using them on a daily basis. So if I was using a chainsaw on a daily basis, then I'd probably definitely go for a Stihl or back to a McCulloch or something like that.
But they're probably really pricey.
Yeah, a Stihl chainsaw, I'd guess you're probably minimum of paying about £350 upwards.
Wow. Okay, and that's a petrol one.
That's a petrol one.
Okay.
Whereas the petrol one I've got at the moment probably costs £100–150.
Yeah, but you're always having problems with it.
Yeah, I have had problems with that particular one. I haven't had problems with previous ones. And it was basically because my petrol one was, off back to the repair shop again. Again.
Notice the again in that statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly things like initially the pull start just jammed on it, so that needed to be changed.
Yeah.
And then the engine seized, but it was in, I'd only had it a few months, so I got that fixed, and then the engine was running fine, but the rear sprocket, which drives the chain,
It's like three separate problems.
Yeah, but the company I bought that one off of have sorted it out, and it's back.
Okay, that's good.
It's back
Good
and
customer
it's running.
service, yeah.
It's back and it's running. But I thought, do you know what? I've had petrol chainsaws for so long, and yes, I'd like to invest the money in a Stihl or something like that. But I thought, why not? Let's go for one of these, because these are relatively new on the market. I haven't indulged in an electric chainsaw before, because I thought something like this would just be handy for, I need to chop up some
occasional usage.
Yeah, need to chop up some firewood, before splitting and things like that. And so I had a look at reviews.
Yeah.
I looked at other people's reviews, and they said the battery gives you about half an hour's usage out of it.
Okay.
Which is fine, because you can buy another battery. Another battery for this is about, I think it's about 88 quid for a battery.
Right.
But that's the one thing with the Ryobi One. They sell a lot of all their tools you can buy as blanks. Okay, so you're buying them without the battery and without the charger, because you can already slap the batteries you've already got into them.
Right.
So that saves you money. So if you just go and buy the tool without the battery or charger, it's a lot cheaper.
Oh, but this one actually came with a battery.
Yeah, this one, because it needed the bigger battery, so this is a 4AH, I don't know, battery, whatever AH means, I don't know, I haven't Googled it. But it's a bigger capacity battery, and it came with the battery and the charger.
Yeah.
Okay, so all in one, this cost me £239.
Okay, so it's not a small purchase.
It's not a small purchase.
Would you say it's the most expensive chainsaw you've bought?
No, my McCulloch cost me a lot more than
Okay,
that.
the first one.
The only reason I've shied away from spending 350 plus on a petrol chainsaw is because I don't think I use it as much as I would normally use one. I've just had a bit of bad luck with the one that I've had at the moment.
Right.
But anyway, I thought I'd give an electric chainsaw a go because I'm going to use it. It's not heavy usage. I'm going to use it occasionally, but it's quite handy that you can literally, without thinking about doing your petrol mix,
Yep.
without all the fuss of having the maintenance on a petrol chainsaw,
Yeah.
that you can literally take it off the shelf and away you go. So let's get it out of the box and see what's in there, shall we?
Yes.
So here we have it out of the box. We have the chainsaw,
Very nice.
charger unit, battery. Okay, charges up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much juice was in the battery initially, but it didn't take long for it to be on a full charge. And the charger itself, I say, I've got chargers with my other products, so they're all interchangeable. But this one
good.
this one's a bigger charger than the ones I have with my drills. Battery, as I say, this is a much bigger battery, and this has a feature on it which my other ones don't.
Oh yeah. What's that?
That's just here. This is a battery level check. So if I push this button, see how those light up? I'm going to show you, Zach. Okay.
Show me.
Push that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we have 4 bars on that.
Full charge.
Full charge. And as you use the tool, obviously they'll go down. Chainsaw itself, well, without the battery, that's pretty light actually. Very easy to assemble.
It's quite a compact little piece of kit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen chainsaws and the other ones you've had, they've been a lot kind of larger.
Yeah, so I kind of feel as if, I saved my pennies up and I bought this one because I just wanted something other than my petrol one, which I have to kind of like prep. I don't store my petrol ones with petrol in them. I always make sure I drain the petrol out.
And to be honest,
you have the chain oil
I've
as
seen
well.
you kind of go through that process several times, and it seems a bit of a hassle.
Well,
to be honest.
it's not a hassle if you're using the chainsaw for a big job.
Right.
Yeah, if you're knocking a couple of trees down and you're logging it all up and
you're going to be using all that.
and you're mixing your fuel and job done. But just saying, I've got a branch down, I want to chop
go
it
cut
up.
that. Yeah, that would be too much of a hassle just to warrant that.
Yeah.
Whereas
this one, I think it looks good. We're obviously going to give it a trial run, take it outside, and give it on this review and show you it working.
Can I take this off?
Yeah. So you got the chain cover just to make sure. Just pull it. That's
Okay.
it. 12-inch blade on there. So we have the actual blade guide blade on there. This is the tightener, which basically tightens the tension on the blade. So you always check the tension. If you loosen the outside ring and unscrew this whole assembly just pops off, and then you can take the chain out, clean out the inside. Literally, it just hooks in at the back here, goes over and screws in, and then you just adjust the chain tension and then tighten it, and it's done. It's dead easy.
That's cool.
For anybody who's used a petrol chainsaw, it's usually you have the braking system here. You have two bolts that you loosen off,
Right.
and then when you loosen off, there's an adjustment screw at the front which you then tighten up.
So it seems
the blade.
possibly a lot easier with this.
This is cool. It's just a really simple way of doing it. I don't know if I'm not familiar if they have this system on a petrol chainsaw at all, but on this electric chainsaw,
On this setup, yeah.
very simple. And then obviously you've got your kickback brake, which that brake would kick in if it needs to be, which means that then stops the blade dead. Pull it back, that takes the brake off. If I turn it round, with all chainsaws, it's essential to make sure that you keep the blade oiled. This actually does have an oil reservoir, And somewhere around here, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Also in the box came a wee bottle of oil.
A wee bottle of oil.
A wee bottle of oil. There wasn't enough oil in this to actually even fill the reservoir, so use that. But anyway, I've got loads of chainsaw oil, so if you're going to buy something like this, just go and buy a litre of chain oil. Goes in the reservoir. There's a little window at the front there.
There you go.
For the level. I actually think that it's difficult to tell the level through the window. There you go, I'm going to tip this, but can you see the oil in there?
A bit, yeah,
Yeah.
that is quite hard to tell.
Yeah, it's easier just to take the cap off, fill it up and check the level looking through the actual filler hole.
Right.
The blade is sharp because it's brand new, and it should stay sharp because I always sharpen the blades, but let's just keep that on there for safety. So you must fill the reservoir with oil, stop the blade from seizing and making sure everything works smoothly. And then of course you've got the place where the battery clicks in. Here's your ONE+ battery, that's it, and it's in.
Oh, well, and that's
it. That's
sorted is ready to use.
This is ready to go. It has a safety button on the back you pull down with your thumb, and then the trigger that you pull to start it, which I'm not going to do.
So what is the weight like with the battery? Okay, so it's a bit heavier.
Well, you've had to go with one of the petrol chainsaws before.
Yeah, they're far heavier than this.
They're far heavier, and I'd actually say that you probably feel that this is less scary to use. Yeah, people get very scared of a petrol chainsaw. They're very loud. They're very vicious pieces of equipment that you have to have total respect for when you're using them. Not to say you shouldn't have total respect for a little chainsaw like this, but I think it's less scary for somebody who's never used a chainsaw before to probably use one of these. And then yeah, when your charge goes down, your battery level will show. So you just whip the battery out, slap it in the charger, and then it'll charge up. And
It seems very, very kind of user friendly.
Yeah, but basically it's there to go anytime you need it, and with minimal charge time. And you know, at a pinch, if you went to use it and your battery, I forgot to charge the battery. You may well, if you've got any other Ryobi tools, you could probably pop a battery out of that and use that.
So does it make sense to say that you could kind of use this kind of on impulse as opposed to planning to use a chainsaw? Like,
yeah,
you go 5 minutes before needing to use it, I need to use a chainsaw, and then you use it instead of, today I'm going to cut a tree down.
Yeah, if I'm going to do serious chainsaw work, then I would go straight for my petrol chainsaw.
Right.
If I literally just want to do what you just said, I need to prune something off which is too big to use pruners, I need to saw it.
Yeah.
You know? Or I've got a log. I need a portion of wood that I just want to log up, and chop down.
You've just impulse. You've found 5 minutes to do something.
Yep.
This is a good one for
let's
that.
face it. You're going to get through something that's about that wide without any issue at all. Anything bigger than that, I'd go for I'd go for my petrol chainsaw. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting this through its paces just to say, for ease of use. Now, it's I've got to say, it's quite pricey.
Yeah.
But when you think about, I paid £239 for it. To buy a replacement battery is basically near as damn it 80 quid. Plus, then you would have the charger. So you're literally knocking off £100 off the chainsaw just with the battery and the charger.
That is good.
Which means the chainsaw itself is £139 if you like.
And that is a lot more affordable.
It's a lot more affordable. So once you start building up the
collection,
the batteries and your collection of tools, then you go, right, I don't need to buy this. I'll just get the...
Oh no, I'm just imagining like a Ryobi shelf now.
Yeah, I think that might happen. I think there may well be some other Ryobi reviews coming up. Anyway, I think we should get this little puppy and take it out for a trial.
Yes, I think we should continue this review on location.
Let's do it. So we've taken the review outside, and I've got the brushless Ryobi 18 volt 12-inch electric chainsaw, and I'm going to test it out on this bit of willow. It's green willow, you can see it's still sprouting. Safety reasons, obviously gloves. You should have face and eye protection, but because this is an electric chainsaw, you really don't need any need for the headphones like you do with a petrol. So you've got 2 buttons, safety, pull back on one.
So that was the Ryobi chainsaw in action.
Yep, certainly for a brushless motor, electric, it has got power.
I was impressed. I was definitely impressed.
It is not, and I categorically say this, it is not a petrol chainsaw. Don't expect...
You almost said it was an electric chainsaw.
Don't expect the same kind of performance and strength out of this as you would a petrol chainsaw.
Don't push it. Don't push it.
I think for general pruning, I mean, this is obviously larger than... I mean, you can get little hand electric chainsaws.
Yeah.
Probably a bit big for your general pruning, but certainly if you've got some, you know, reasonable sized logs that you just want to log up and not have the hassle of doing your petrol mix on your petrol one.
Definitely good for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Battery, we used it for probably about 10 minutes, and the battery level you won't see here, but it's lost 1 bar.
Okay, out full.
Yeah, out full.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, it's cool.
It's a neat bit of kit.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to use it. It's just a handy addition. Again, it might sound initially a bit pricey, but remember...
that was what I was going to ask.
But remember, you're buying the battery and the charger with this setup. You can buy the tools by themselves, and then this chainsaw without the battery and without the charger works out about £130 around that area. So, which I don't find that price is that too scary.
Do you think it was worth it?
Yes, it's worth it if you are the kind of person that wants the facility of a chainsaw but does not want to have the hassle. Well, it's not a hassle when you're used to using petrol chainsaws, but you don't want to have to go through the petrol mixing and all the rest of it, and the maintenance, and draining them out and storing them over the winter period and things like that. If you just want something you can simply use, literally off the shelf, then this is probably going to be perfect for you.
One more question.
One more question.
Do you reckon it's more reliable than a cheap petrol chainsaw? Considering we haven't had it very long.
Well, it would be unfair of me to say.
And we've had petrol chainsaws that have died after a few uses.
Yeah, I would say that there's probably less to go wrong on this because it literally is just a brushless electric motor.
Yeah.
I can't really see where, unless you get a jam in it from what you're cutting and you need to take it apart and just clean it out. I don't think that this is a unit that you're going to use for heavy use. So I don't really expect you're going to have much issues with it at all, and it's going to just probably keep on going. Whereas you need a little bit more maintenance and care and attention to any petrol one. So when it comes to a petrol chainsaw, I wouldn't advise buying cheap. I would.
Yeah, from experience.
From experience, don't buy cheap. Get a decent known brand but you are going to pay for it. But if you're not happy using a petrol chainsaw, and you're not, you know, you had any experience with a petrol chainsaw, but a chainsaw is something you feel that you would like to have in your tool shed, then yeah, I'm going to say
go for the Ryobi.
The Ryobi is a solid bit of kit.
There we are.
Brilliant.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel, and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see in the future.
We'll see you in the next one.